Yeah, we moved away several blocks to a safer location because it got quite violent down the block just a few minutes ago between police and these protesters who have been camped out of City Hall for the last 7 days. And overnight, about 6 hours ago, the NYPD showed up in great numbers, sealing off the municipal building. And about a half hour ago, they began moving people out of the street because they were blocking Chambers and Center Streets downtown. When police moved in to put people back onto the sidewalks and back into that Occupy camp is when tensions really boiled over, and we saw several clashes with police as they made several arrests, as you're seeing on your screen. And if we can also take a look from Air 11 at the same time, this is what it looks like right now. Police have been here in large numbers, probably several hundred officers with helmets and shields as they try to keep these protesters at bay and put them back into this camp where they have been behind City Hall for the last week. This morning, we're expected to learn more details about the all-important budget that's being released, with protesters calling for major money being shifted away from the department. The Budget Act set to fall on City Hall today as New York is faced with nearly $10 billion in cuts amid a pandemic and citywide protests. Among the biggest shift in resources is away from the NYPD, the mayor pledging $1 billion in what he calls savings to the country's largest police force.
A plan that would achieve $1 billion in savings for the NYPD and shift resources to young people, to communities.
The mayor says the budget would not compromise public safety amid a June surge in gun violence. Sources say it would likely cancel the incoming police recruit class, move school safety officers to the Department of Education, and trim overtime. The police patrol union balking at the plan, saying, quote, "The mayor and city council have surrendered our city to lawlessness."
We could have used that money to educate them better, house them better, feed them better.
Protesters camped outside City Hall for the past week also aren't happy with the reallocation.
We don't want to see any funds going from the NYPD and then undercover into other types of organizations that are functioning essentially as the same system.
The budget is not expected to include layoffs, despite a previous warning 20,000 city workers would get pink slips. Instead, some savings would be achieved through attrition. The entire $87 billion budget plan needs City Council's approval.
I've actually joined a growing number of colleagues in saying that I will vote no on the city budget.
At the end of the day, we have to make tough decisions.
And a live look back from Air 11 this morning showing the protesters that were removed from the street just moments ago. Police are on the street as well in large numbers as they are trying to keep them back from the flow of traffic because, of course, right now they were there overnight. However, with traffic starting to pick up this morning, they need everyone to move off the street. So when police began removing barricades that they were trying to seal off the street, that's when things kind of boiled over and tensions became very high between police and the protesters. But we only saw maybe 1 or 2 arrests at this point. Unclear exactly what they were arrested for. However, things got pretty violent between police and the protesters at one point. So we're going to be checking in with the police department to see if they have any updated numbers for us. That's the latest live here in Lower Manhattan. I'm Anthony DiLorenzo, Pix 11.